And Ms. Blah will also be at the county commission meeting. Would like to have it brought up there also, called upon. But for you guys this afternoon to speak on behalf of the remaining ARPA and Baby Dome money that is being dispersed. I've attended all meetings that I've been able to attend, and those that I have not been able to attend, or I have been able to attend, I've been able to take off work and take PTO along with several other of my members. We have yet to hear from any committees and or commissioners except for 3 that have reached out to me in regard to the funding. It is my understanding the funds have been pretty much well accounted for and dispersed as determined and are dwindling down to pennies and dimes. I want to clarify and give some information that I would hope would assist in making a decision with the remaining funds that dispersed between 2 rescue squads that service this county. Churchill Rescue Squad currently has 2 rescue trucks in operation, including the new one, with the newest other new one being 16 years old, which was the one we were using as our primary rescue truck until we got this one. That one is now having to be re-equipped with equipment, and also will be down a little bit for some generalized maintenance. There are other agencies in this county that are struggling with aging apparatus, fleet, equipment in need of repair and replacement. Churchill Rescue Squad lost its frontline rescue apparatus over 2.5 years ago. Now, and our entire agency has been working tirelessly to get this apparatus back into service. We again thank and also want to recognize Hawkins County Rescue Squad for graciously providing a rescue truck for us during that period of time for approximately a year of this time. The only way that we have found to ensure the citizens and visitors of Hawkins County are protected while visiting and traveling through this county was to finance the new chassis and remount the box that was on our previous apparatus. When our apparatus experienced catastrophic engine failure, I attended several meetings, different committee meetings, and also a full county commission meeting, asking for assistance, which our agency has never done in the past that I'm aware of in the 15 years that I've been a member of Churchill Rescue Squad, other than the additional yearly county funding for operational costs, which is also increasing, and we're very gracious to receive. When I approached asking this county for assistance in the past, I was told that this county is not the remount business by a county commissioner who is no longer a commissioner, but had support of several other commissioners that are still commissioners. And at that time was also told that if that started, we'd have to be done for all. I just want to keep the county commissioners in mind that are now. This county has remounted ambulances and purchased ambulances, which were needed to continue to provide services to this county, and for Hawkins County to provide professional services to citizens and visitors of this county, and to grow as they needed. In the last budget committee meeting that I was able to attend, due to having to work, I was unable to attend due to having to work. Following information was relayed to the budget committee, which was the request of the remaining $350,000 to Hawkins County Rescue Squad. It was also stated in that meeting about the generator that they are requesting due to them having an emergency shelter. Churchill Rescue Squad is also deemed as an emergency shelter for the eastern portion of Hawkins County. The last 3 requests that I've been given, one being the cold freeze, the last 2 was extreme powder outages, one when TBA was doing their rolling powder outages, I had to tell them no. That is a very uneasy and uncomfortable feeling to have to tell citizens of this county and other politicians that I'm not able to provide a service that according to the American Red Cross I can provide due to our backup emergency generator being down and unserviceable. Ours was given to us at this building of the station and is a civil service defense generator that has a blown head gasket, or a blown head. Also, with not having a backup generator, our HVAC system is also almost completely out. We have 2 units that service our entire building, with one barely able to provide 60 degrees with the heat on, and to do that, it requires auxiliary heat. And now, swapping over to air conditioning is doing the exact same thing, running non-stop. This has increased our electric bill from $400 to $600 a month over the past 2 years. It was also stated that having an aging apparatus fleet, that all nonprofit agencies in this county, including Churchill Rescue Squad, with our new apparatus, has just that, an extreme aging fleet, which needs attention by all parties. It was also stated upon the coverage areas of the 2 rescue squads that serve this county. I just want to give a synopsis of, yes, we are a smaller coverage area, but still the amount of coverage area the Churchill Rescue Squad covers. Churchill Rescue Squad does cover a good portion of this county also. We cover 11.5 miles of 11W, with Hawkins County Rescue Squad covering the remainder 28.2. Churchill Rescue Squad covers 28 miles of river in this county, with Hawkins County Rescue Squad covering 12.2 miles, but also Hawkins County Rescue Squad covers the lake, which according to coverage area, which is the main channel, which adds up to 36 miles of water coverage for Hawkins County Rescue Squad. What I'm trying to say is I feel that it is not a contest or competition on who has the largest coverage area or who provides the most apparatus, the newest apparatus, the most fancy equipment, the newest equipment. This should be taking pride in our agencies in this county, and also the county as a whole taking pride in emergency service in this county to provide taxpayers a service at an extremely small fraction of the cost, and these individuals do this for free. Our agency, with the addition of with the newly acquired remounted rescue truck, our agency still only has 2 fully equipped rescue trucks at the moment. And as I stated before, the truck, excuse me, the truck that was serving as a primary rescue truck while the remount was being completed is having to have some work done to it, and also now have to be re-equipped with additional equipment, as it was hauling the equipment that was going back on the new truck when it was received. It is not just Churchill Rescue Squad and Hawkins County Rescue Squad that are struggling to get by. It's all volunteer agencies in this county. Churchill Rescue Squad alone has 3 critical infrastructure issues, and one of those being the frontline rescue truck, which was financed for $130,000, which when it was picked up, they had to pay an additional $10,362.74 out of pocket to be able to bring this rescue truck home. This equals a $13,000 yearly payment that we have on us right now to provide a service to have adequate response apparatus. The other being our failing HVAC system, and then our parking lot, which now is impassable by our heavy rescue, and our communications trailer is unable to go out the way it needs to due to the parking lot / driveway being completely washed out with over foot-deep trenches. We have continued to pay and invest money and dedicate money to these repairs for them to only be washed out due to the large amount of work that is going to have to be completed. All volunteer emergency services in this county need help, period. But myself, along with members, are tired of our agencies being overlooked and not thought of when in need, especially on the east end. Keep in mind that our coverage area covers the largest city in this county, being Churchill. Also covers the largest per capita city, being Mount Carmel. There are agencies outside of the Rogersville area that need help. In closing, my request would be for the Public Safety Committee to make a motion to either split the remaining $350,000 and or our original request be thought of and taken to the full commission. For each rescue in this county to assist both agencies when it needs, as they are both equally important, and that would be fair. Our agency, along with myself, feel like our request of being such a small amount has been overlooked. We feel that we have no support other than the commissioners that have reached out to me, which is only a small handful, less than half of our full county commission has reached out about 1, daily operations, showing support and gratification for what we do for this county, and or also for the ARPA funds of our request. It has also been noticed that several agencies' requests for ARPA funds and baby dough money have been changed. After the ARPA funds, myself, along with speaking with several other officers from other agencies, I brought a $1 million resolution to assist every volunteer agency in this county, minus the Sheriff's Department, because I was told it couldn't because they are county owned and operated. It was shot down. I was told I was past the deadline. No changes could be made to the requests. Once the ad hoc committee was technically dissolved and brought back, don't know where it happened, all those rules and regulations disappeared. Funding changes have been made, request changes have been made, and those have been funded accordingly by motions. So we would greatly like to request a motion be heard to be able to help pay for our financing along with our capital issues that are absolutely crippling us at this time and will cripple us in the future. Once again, this is not to discredit Hawkins County Rescue Squad or any other agency in this county. This is also just to justify our needs, as we feel our voice from the east end of this county is not being heard. But with that also being said, the commissioners that have reached out, Mr. Kearns, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Roach, Mr. Palmer, along with Chad Britt and Joey Maddox, we appreciate your support of our agency. We recommend and we request all other commissioners in this county come visit us, and in turn, if this request is to go through, myself as the chief of Churchill Rescue Squad along with my executive board can make a promise to this commission and this county. Whatever funds that are received to assist us in our remount rescue truck that is financed and their outline capital issues, we will provide you documentation, financial documentation, itemized list, whatever needs to be done, to show you that the funds that we received went to exactly what we were requesting. Not only for that, but for anything else. Our agency is an open book and an open door policy. We would love for you guys to stop by. Thank you.
Commissioner, sorry. I'm sorry. Do you have a breakdown of the cost for each one of those issues that you mentioned?
As of right now, other than the 10,000 we put out, our financing at this point is 121,000 and some change. I apologize, I meant to write that down. We have made one payment on that, which we had to make this year before we ever got the truck and the truck was ever finished. So if you include that, if you include the $10,000 we have to bring out of pocket, it's going to bring you above the $130,000 we financed.
And you're asking for?
Our original request was $80,000 of ARPA money because we had money set aside that we were willing to put with it, as other requests have been made, similar to, I guess, the Humane Society was kind of, hey, we'll put money on it, we're not just asking for all of it. At this point, I would request the full $130,000 for at least the finance of the truck if the $350,000 couldn't be split. If that's the case, then that would also be able to go for the truck. That would also go for our HVAC systems. It would also cover the supplies to fix our parking lot, which we're in discussion with two different construction companies, or excavating companies right now that are talking about donating their time to do that as long as we were able to provide the supplies and materials. For a backup generator for our building to power everything that is needed for the emergency shelter, which requires power going to our bay doors to be able to get out in case of emergency. Powers at minimum percentage of 50% of your electrical outlets within your facility. That way for your elderly that have medical needs for ventilators and such, you do have those areas there to be able to plug up. That also, which we don't have to worry about at the city, or where we're on city limits, but that also provides power to any type of water or well service. That also provides power to your HVAC units also. That is $36,000 for that. That is for a Generac natural gas, which we have there that provide to it. That is for that. That is for the switch box. That does not include installation. We have also reached out. I reached out in the past to several electricians that are willing to work with us to help us out with that. If we are able to purchase the generator, the switch box, and such, we'll have that all wired up. Estimated cost for the parking lot, I believe we had figured out was going to be close to $15,000 for materials alone. There's quite a bit of grade work, quite a bit of backfill. Right now our parking lot is asphalt. For us to go back, just because the apparatus, the weight of the apparatus, what would have to go back on the incline would be concrete. I don't know if anybody's priced concrete here lately, but it is not cheap. So that $15,000 was last year when we were really trying to crunch our funding and to dedicate funding from fundraisers and also county money to the best areas this needs to go with no frivolous spending. There are several items and several things that I can honestly say that our agency probably has gone without for our members, but the members have been in agreement that it needs to go to other things other than those at that time.
Mr. Cap, I'm trying to find our spreadsheet. I'm not been able to locate it right now. When I do, you've got my number. You can call me. I have out to you in a while. So
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Any further questions? Does any member of the committee want to take action on the request that you just said?
I think that there's definitely some action that should be taken because I certainly agree with some points that you were making with after Director Miller identified during the Christmas season when we had that power outage, the lack of a shelter. That is a huge need on the Upper East End of the county.
And I don't know if Jamie's really looked into it. I know, speaking with some of the EMA people in Washington County and Sullivan County, generator-wise, the Hazard Mitigation Grant through the state can provide emergency backup generators for all emergency services within this county. That's what Washington County and Sullivan County did. Their agencies have them. Sullivan County just wrote for two more for two different stations in Sullivan County. So that could also be an option for backup generators for all emergency services, from one end to the other. Volunteer fire departments, rescue squad, EMS stations, sheriff's department, EDOs, and such. There are grants out there through the state for that mitigation grant that we can get backup generators.
Commissioner Gibson, or you want to take any?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm trying to work this here. So what you're requesting that we basically evaluate is before we finish spending the remaining 300, do you remember the number for the ARPA funds for the
I don't have my spreadsheet.
350,000?
That's what I was told after the last county commission meeting last month. There was about $350,000 remaining of constituted of ARPA and baby down money combined.
And your request was for 135?
Yeah, well, 130 would do our truck.
Okay.
Yeah, would do our truck.
130 would do the truck. What's the generator?
The generator is 36,000.
Would you say those, I mean, I understand all three being the top priorities, but would you say those two are your top priorities?
Our two top priorities would be our HVAC system and our truck, honestly. For the simple fact is, I have a extremely strong feeling that our HVAC system will not last us through this summer. And like I said, it has increased our electric bill anywhere from $400 to $600. Our electric bill runs anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400 a month.
Which is roughly 6,000 annually.
Yes, which is reflected on our budget request that we submitted, and also an increase in that.
Did you have a cost on the HVAC?
The HVAC, the last cost, which once again was last year, and obviously with the inflation of things, for the 2 units was how much, Brody?
12,000, I think.
I think it was $12,000 was
Big
for the 2
discount.
units. That was a large discount. That was custom heating there in Churchill. Pretty much us purchasing the units themselves, and Chad Sayers was going to donate the labor to get the old ones off and new ones installed. So 12,000 was just the 2 units, which we are open to anything to, as stated before by other people, to do this as most economically friendly as we can. We have reached out, maybe talking about the mini split units. Would it be more cost effective just to go with one bigger unit, which we can do, which would be just a little bit of additional trunking coming off the main trunk of it? We are open to whatever we need to do to make this most economical as we can.
So looking at the numbers here, so your backup generator, your generator, natural gas, swing box for all that, 36,000, what you said.
Yes, sir.
The parking lot, I'm assuming that you're talking about the roadway, you get 15 HVAC, 12 with the last one, you had the last number you had, so that's
Yes, sir.
63,000. And that leaves 67,000 for your new $130,000 request. With this remaining 67,000, is that what you're going to put toward your replacement on your truck?
Yes, it would be. Like I said, I would be more than willing, like I said, to be able to show financial documentation where this money's going. I know as citizens of this county, I feel like I would want to know that you guys making that decision for all citizens in this county, that myself as the chief and executive board church register squad could only be able to provide you that information, showing you that that is what that money went to, and what I'm asking for is where it's going.
Because also think you've got some very valid points about your coverage area and the per capita basis of the cities that you cover. So, I guess with that being said, you said 136 was the amount that you're, 136.
Hey, Rob, would you mind if I speak on the sheltering issue just a second?
Yeah.
On the generators, obviously the biggest concern we have is when we lost power back around Christmas Eve. This is something we just need to think about as a full group in the future. The only way you're guaranteed generation of power is if you have secured your source. So by using natural gas, I'd recommend, and I'm not a generator or a natural gas guy, but I'd recommend seeing a propane tank can be set as well. That way you know you've got secured fuel there. Back in the Texas disaster, I was researching this on the fly back around Christmas Eve just to see. Back in the Texas power grid disaster, they also parked out natural gas. Cut off natural gas and you cut off electricity, it's 5 degrees outside, you're freezing people to death. So that's something I would just bring up as a note to any agency.
The one that we looked at also has a 5 or 10 gallon diesel backup,
Yeah,
which will provide full running services for 12 hours.
that's just a note I bring up to anybody right now, buying generators, and that's something we'll have to look at on the county level as well, so making sure you've got a secure fuel there. Back up to the backup.
might I suggest, Mr. Gibson, I know you're thinking about, a rep like making a motion to refer over to the budget committee. Go ahead and make your motion with whatever the request is. Mr. Cal, once we get down to dollars and cents, I don't know that it's gonna stay at $130,000. I'm the budget chair, I should have the spreadsheet in front of me.
I completely understand.
But, just to understand, I'll support it to come out of this committee, but if it's changed, that's on this committee.
Understood.
I'm going to make that formal motion, go ahead and proceed with 130,000 recommendation, to send that to the budget committee, or not our budget. Or you want, because we've got it, we've got it on the agenda.
Could we, since it's coming from the Public Safety Committee, Mr. Gibson, could we say with funding source to be chosen by, or with funding source to be recommended by the Budget Committee so that we have a little flexibility in where we can look at it?
100% fine with that.
Mistakes. Does that make sense?
So it's $130,000 in the budget committee.
With the funding source to be determined, or with the funding source to be recommended by the Budget Committee.
Okay.
We have a motion on the floor to recommend $130,000 referral to the budget committee with funding source to the discretion of the budget committee. We got a motion made by Commissioner Gibson, second by Commissioner Kern. Do we have any further discussion on that motion?
One quick question, is there going to be a budget committee meeting before the commissioners meeting Monday?
Oh, no, that won't happen until, this won't come up until May's budget committee.
Okay.
Who sponsored that resolution for the 300, for the one that's on the agenda this month?
I think it probably comes through me because the budget committee was the one for that recommendation.
When is the next budget committee meeting?
Maybe.
It's May the 15th.
15. Thank you. What time?
3:30.
Any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, Ms. Davis, we call roll call vote.
Bobby Palmer,
Yes.
Chad Britton,
Yes.
Danny Ellis,
Yes.
John Gibson,
Yes.
Tom Kern,
Yes.
Jason Rush.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Thank you guys for your time, Commissioner.
Like Commissioner Rhodes said, just keep in mind that some of you may have to vote again to the budget.
Absolutely. Thank you.